My name is Ariana Afshari. I am going to be getting a BS in neurobiology and a minor in civic and economic thought and leadership. I see myself being a physician, serving communities specifically that look like me, come from a background like me. I grew up really low income from a Hispanic household. And there are certain things that you can learn about when serving communities like that, but there are certain things that are difficult to teach. One thing is to learn about it, and another thing is to live it. And I just feel like there are those indescribable factors that make me equipped to serve communities that I come from. So I was originally recommended to SCETL by a friend. And so it was the spring of my freshman year, so I decided to enroll in their summer course, Shakespeare in the Pines. And that really solidified my interest in SCETL being not only a complementary part of my undergraduate career, where I have an emphasis in STEM, specifically neurobiology, but a necessary component that would make me a more holistic learner and leader in the future. Coming from a STEM background, going into a course where you're just fully immersed really intimidated me at first. But I walked in there and everyone was in the same boat. I mean, everyone was just willing to be there, and I think that was the difference. Everyone wanted and was willing to learn, and we ended up all walking away with something I think pretty valuable. And so I feel like that brought to light in a lot of ways something that I was searching for in SCETL. I was trying to find something that was at the cusp of philosophy, where I could use art, where I could bring that into science. Painting has been a hobby for me. I knew that SCETL had designed this cool reading room, and I knew that they were going to hire possibly someone to kind of decorate it. But I also knew that they had a core value to really support their students through and through. And so I felt, let's bring my hobby to life. The actual original painting was designed by Raphael. It was designed to kind of hit the same concept, bringing together science and other disciplines. However, given its time period, given its context, it doesn't exactly represent what leadership has kind of transformed over the ages. In designing this painting, I felt that I was able to consider more about what representation looks like in leadership. I think that art gave a very real visual representation of the things that we cover. And so that's ultimately why I kind of wanted the opportunity to bring art into SCETL and to pull in some things like science to highlight that very interdisciplinary mission that I was hoping to give back. After graduation, I accepted an offer to teach high school biology in the Bay Area. A lot of them kind of understand how hard it is to get to college, and the school's mission is to really follow them through college, which is something that I felt that SCETL did a lot for me. So it's something that I value giving to my students for sure, that I want to see them through and through. And they have a huge emphasis on discourse. I mean, I think that's kind of the staple of what SCETL is. I almost always have the perspective that I could be wrong, but I know at the end of this, I will have learned something about myself, that I either feel differently, I understand someone else's perspective, and not even in a way of being open-minded, but some of these professors actually have something really unique to add to the conversation. I think what's nice about the SCETL mentors is that they're all so uniquely qualified. They let me come to their office hours. They give me advice. I ask them about how can I continue to be happy as I pursue really, rigorous coursework. And getting a STEM education has been really valuable for me because that's what I want to do. It's what I love to learn about content-wise. All of the aspects of it are really fun for me to actually challenge myself with. But at times it can be really transactional. There's not a whole lot of conversation going on, there's not a whole lot of application going on. Whereas SCETL has this approach where you're in a classroom, size under 30, your mentors are dedicated to being a mentor to you, and they're always there for me.